Welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. Wow, it took quite a while to set this up. Overview. Welcome to my 70th edition of my overview. I stole little tiny bits like the icons. I think I stole the this airplane icon idea from ZTAC-S overview pack. I found it not useful for myself, being a lowsec care bear, and I would switch between high sec and low sec. I needed something that was more tuned to what I was doing day to day, so I just decided to do my own thing. Could have stuck with ZTAC-S. I think I'm still following the latest mailing list. Yeah, still on their mailing list. Yep. This is an attempt to integrate the ability to see combat targets with very low brackets. You see all these brackets here is because I like to have advanced industrials on overview when I'm in combat. I want to see when somebody's warping in a looter or that needs to be dealt with really, really quickly. Say transferring cap boosters to a capital or something like that. It's helpful. I've also got Rorquals on this, I can see. But otherwise, as little brackets as possible. I recently, as of today, added moons to the brackets. This is icons in space, brackets. Whereas before I only had it in my all category, which was everything, including all brackets as well, which tends to lag people out, especially me. So yeah, if you're worried about lag, do get into removing as many brackets as you humanly can get away with. I added drones recently just for looting purposes and the ability to see drones and loot at the same time. It seemed to go hand in hand. This is my capitals and fighters, so also can see citadels on it, citadels too, Fortizars and Astor houses, and of course keepstars. The transit is kind of unique in a way. I'm not sure if ZTAC-S has realized it yet. I'm sure it has, but you can set the overview settings to show you nothing, no ships, no nothing, except you can also descan them. You won't see them in overview. You descan them. And I do this by changing the states in this tab here, and the dock as well. The dock is a tiny bit different. I've changed it so you can also see the fleet members too, as an logi. I used to have a logi a while ago. I've got my old ones. This is back in 2019. It got removed, the logi, and the logi was here and here, and it would show you only fleet members. But since we've got broadcast, fleet broadcast, and which Logi mostly uses, and watch lists, I found I never had a use for the Logi tab, so I eventually got rid of it. I still have it very recently. This was back in February, so since February I've gotten rid of the Logi, realizing it's ephemeral and useless and I never use it. So I got rid of it and I replaced it with the drones for more looting purposes. That was useful for me. But anyways, I digress. Back to transit. So the ability to show limited engagement, pilots of war. So the only things that are going to show you right here is your war target. So this is kind of like combat, but you know, you're going through, you know, you're traveling, so you don't only want to see script targets, but thankfully we've got the icons for the war. But also, if for some reason you want to risk it, you can see the war targets now clearly, and no others. It's an excellent way, and I highly recommend using this ability. Just if you don't use mine, just find a tab and do this. It just, you know, I've got all the ship types, you know, all the ship types, and it's just war targets, and that's the only thing that's going to show. And of course, limited engagement. Say if you get a duel with your freighter, and it's you know, you could do it that way. You can see that easily. But I usually use for that, that's the fleet, and I've got a fleet member. But you can use duel as well. It's just helpful, very helpful. I believe I disabled the dueling status, limited engagement for Doc, because I was in a fight once and we had criminal flags and everything was going flashy, and I tried to hit transit to get away, but everything was flashy and it shocked me. So I removed that limited engagement for Doc, just in case, hey, I want to dock up quick because there's a whole fleet and we got to flee the field. And so I removed the limited engagement. But I did add fleet member too, which will of course cause the opposite problem of not being able to see dock when you want to dock up, when your friendlies are there. But it's better to see a whole bunch of friendlies and see who's left on field than it's a good morale boost, actually, instead of seeing a whole bunch of baddies. So I think that's workable and may change it in the future. You know, this is my 70th edition. I'm always trying to improve it. I've added very recently, like today, sentry guns. I didn't used to have, I think I only had it for mining. Probably don't need it for mining right now. But this is drones, looting and stuff like that. Yeah, there is mining. I had it for mining. I used to have mining here. When's the last time I had mining closer? Yeah, I had mining here. Logi, lol. Way back over here, in the mists of time, 2018. I probably wasn't even playing around very much with my overview in 2008. The first time I actually uploaded was back in December 2013, and this is my 3rd edition. I'm sure these are 2nd or 3rd or whatever. March 2014 was when I really started to be comfortable with sharing my overview with others. So that was a fun day, and of course they've moved on from XML. And I made a blog during that time, February 2014, right when I was starting to get comfortable. Look at that. Look at the old Neocom icons, huh? This is back when I was playing with a very restricted resolution, trying to fit all 4 of my characters on the same screen, cascading. Yeah, it was, I think did I have a flat screen by then? 2014? Possibly. But yeah, it was really compact, and I needed it as short as possible. I tried to get as much information as possible, and it was, of course, all very different. I was playing with colors even back then. That was kind of cute. I think I got frustrated trying to learn how to change it. I had 2 types, I would switch between the two of them using my history. In overview history, you can switch between types by that method. Where is it? I think I might have reset my overview recently, so you won't be able to see history, but yeah, you can. I would switch between the belter and the shepherd type. That was fun. And this 8th edition is 2018. I had gotten rid of colors for some reason. Got slowly back into them. Let's go up here. And this, very rapidly, very rapidly, I had switched to more tabs. I'd gone from a very small amount of tabs, thinking that the less tabs, the less lag. And then eventually by 20th, I was here. I was semi-comfortable, and it was December of 2018 and almost into 2019. This is 30th edition, and it came with a few changes. Yeah, I started to make a change. No, wait. This is 20th edition, sorry. It's 10th edition? Let me get my bearings straight. Sorry about that. Major Domo, yeah, this is 20th edition into colors. This was 30th edition. And 30th edition was February 19th when I started making changelogs. Oh right, because this is... Sorry. Let's bring this up. Okay, 30th edition. '31, and there we go. Okay, good. Sorry. Just a bit discombobulated for a second. So, by February 2019, I was like, I have no idea. I've got to 20th edition, and I have no idea what's happened in the past. Sorry, 30th edition. I had no idea what had changed between Belter 20th and Belter 30th. And before, what did I change? What was old? What was new? What did I do so I didn't have to, like, do it like a jigsaw puzzle, try to piece it together slowly. I wanted something I could just look at and go, oh, okay, I changed that date, and that's why I did it, and oh, okay, there you go. And it helped in this game. You so need this because the game doesn't give it to you. So yeah, keeping records is a good thing for looking in the past, because looking into the past is distorted. Say, for instance, the static ice fields, they were only changed just 2013-14, around there, just 7 years ago. To me, it was forever ago. So it's a good thing to look back and see the history. It gives you a context, perspective that might be distorted, and it's good to have when you're talking to people, explaining stuff. It's good to have these. You can flesh out the stories instead of speculating, and speculation is the absolute bane of EVE players' existence. Utter bane. So yeah, this was 20, 30, 40. This was yeah, this was last year. A year ago. Yeah, a year ago. crazy. Yeah, so sorry. Wool gathering there. So the tags for me, it's very important for tags for a miner. Absolutely important. Incredibly important. So I'd always have them over here, which is backwards. And I had the type and the name switched around, and the distance and velocity switched as far as possible. It seemed to me a good thing. Not so much actually, and I eventually, it was nice, but I had the good understanding of tags and where the importance of tags for myself. In this edition, I put it over here, and it was, oh, I could switch these two, and I would have them like, I would have it on the far sides, keep them separate, you know, so I could look all the way over here for my tags now. So I was like, okay, that'll be good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I had all 8 available tabs being used. Hadn't quite gotten the notion that, yes, I had by then. It was there, that I could see links here, like the scrambling icons and stuff like that, without obscuring anything. And I had the corporation there because if it gets obscured, I don't really care about it. So, and of course you can see the overview started to widen, of course. But yeah, it was nice. And this is Belter 50th edition. This was summer of last year. I had gotten a lot more combat experience by then, and I had actually added capitals and fighters to the list. And then this is 60th edition, a bit more transversal. Tried transversal for a bit, didn't like it, dropped it. Then I put in links for the description. And then I'd switched a bit around. I'd switched, let's see, I'd switched a tiny bit around. I'd put dock farther from transit, keep them at opposite ends. I just didn't like it very well, and eventually I would start moving things around where I felt completely comfortable. And today, you know, this is 60th edition, and it was February of this year. I decided that things needed radical changing, and I made a video about 60th edition. You can go see it. And of course today is what I have now. It's very useful, incredibly useful. I use it all the time, and I use all the tabs a lot, especially when docking at my master houses. I use this a lot so I can see my citadels right away. Yeah, it's really helpful. Hopefully I didn't belabor any points too long, but yeah, that's it. The main reason I started this is so I could find a workaround, which I never have, of when you've got a destination route and you're going to the next jump gate, and then you enter the system and it says no object selected. I have not been able to find a workaround for that, so that was one motivation. The other motivation was to make it so when I'm transiting and I've got dock, I don't see mobile depots and giant cans littering Jita and the routes. I'd rather not have that in my game. You know, if I can get rid of it and not see it, all the more power to me. So yeah, that's me. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found it, well, probably not informative, but at least helpful to understand why you always see this overview, and hopefully it will improve in the future.